Who seeks time? Gentleman from Colorado.
Representative Barbara Lee from Oakland in Oakland, California.
California for bringing forth this amendment. This amendment's absolutely critical for Colorado.
Jared Polis from Colorado.
We have a legal regulatory structure for medical marijuana. Many businesses and nonprofits that are active in providing patients with medical marijuana, and yet they live under constant fear of selective enforcement from the Attorney General or from the DEA. I had the opportunity in the Judiciary Committee to question the Attorney General with regard to this issue, and he acknowledged that the only possible enforcement, because of the large-scale use of medical marijuana in the states where it is legal, would be selective enforcement. And it's a very dangerous precedent, a very dangerous power to hand an Attorney General, a Department of Justice, and a DEA. I've heard from the other side of the aisle in different contexts many comments critical of the current Attorney General. But regardless of who is sitting as Attorney General, do we want to have an Attorney General that has the ability at any given time to engage in selective enforcement against a large group of people, whomever he or she wants to prosecute? What if the selective enforcement is politically motivated? What if we have an Attorney General that decides he or she doesn't like the Tea Party or doesn't like the Occupy movement? What if they then force the states to give the records that they keep of who has the medical marijuana licenses and then goes after the people with whose politics they don't agree? It's a very, very dangerous road to go down, a dangerous power to give to the federal government. This is a very real and important issue. Drug abuse is a terrible problem, plagues our country, plagues Colorado families. We can reduce drug abuse and reduce access to minors of both marijuana as well as other drugs by making sure that we regulate them appropriately. In Colorado, medical marijuana dispensaries are regularly audited. They are required under state law to have video cameras to keep track of who comes and goes. Minors are not allowed to enter the premise. It is, of course, the underground illegal corner drug dealer that will sell to the 15-year-old, not the legal state-regulated dispensary. We have limited law enforcement capabilities, as highlighted by my colleague from California, Mr. Schiff. And to go after patients and their caregivers rather than drug smugglers and Mexican drug cartels does a huge disservice not only to law enforcement but also to the many, many victims of the drug war, both from collateral damage as well as those who fall victim to drugs themselves. It's critical at a time when our nation continues to battle with narcotic use that our limited resources are focused on the real problem. The real problem is not the 68-year-old cancer patient. The real problem is not the business or the nonprofit that operates under a legal state regulatory system in providing these essential services in our communities in accordance with state and local law. This amendment is common sense. I hope that colleagues on both sides of the aisle join in passing this amendment. And I understand that for many of our colleagues, they don't yet have or they don't have legal medical marijuana in their states. And that's fine. No one's saying they should or they shouldn't. It's up to the residents of each state to decide how they want to treat the criminal aspects of regulating marijuana use. What we're asking is, for those of you who come from states who don't have legal marijuana, consider that some states might think about it a little differently. Consider that some states have, in fact, authorized dispensaries and authorized a system to ensure that it stays out of the hands of minors, to focus their state law enforcement resources on harder drugs and ensuring that minors don't have access to marijuana or other drugs. And consider that that is their prerogative, just as it is your prerogative in your state to continue to approach marijuana usage as a criminal issue. I call upon my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to support this important amendment, to focus our limited resources and allow legal businesses and legal caregivers to operate without the fear of a DEA agent busting in their door. I yield back the balance of my time.